Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. I'm going to take a look back here at week 13, how everything broke down, who did great, who did poorly. I'm going to look at my Best Buys article on ESPN Plus. It's an ESPN Plus piece. If you don't have ESPN Plus, I cannot speak because it's Monday morning, apparently, and so I'm as tilted as you guys are because it's Monday. So it's an ESPN Plus piece. If you have ESPN Plus, you can check that out. It comes out every single Thursday. Every Monday, though, on this video, I go over what I got right and what I got wrong. Some places I was lucky. Some places we got unlucky. Like a player didn't perform, we were unlucky. Or sometimes a player got there and reached value, and we were lucky. We're going to go over that and try and refine our process every single week moving forward. I appreciate you guys continuing to tune into this video every single Monday. I think it's an essential part of my own process, and I've heard from some of you who feel that it is as well. I know that this video doesn't get as many views as the forward-looking, give you the answers to the test type videos on this channel, but I appreciate you guys tuning in every single week. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, though I assume that people that watch this video have already subscribed. Click that notifications bell and make sure you drop a like before you leave. So why don't we just take a look at Best Buys from week 13. Here it is. Anytime you're looking for this on Thursdays or beyond, it comes out Thursday mornings every single week. If you type Best Buys week, whatever week it is, it will pop up on the Google machine as the number one result, and you can find this article that way every single week. So I started with Jameis Winston. He was pretty much an obvious quarterback choice for me to be able to get me to 20 or more points for 6K. I felt that he was very easy to get to. He was 22.8 points, only 249 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, did rush for 48 yards on 5 attempts, so he got there and exceeded value. I'm okay with that. Kirk Cousins did not, but I kind of dropped my allocations on Kirk Cousins in the morning with the Stephon Diggs news. Now, Stephon Diggs did end up playing, but he was in question, which actually helped me get off him. Now, Diggs played, everything went according to plan, but sometimes the news can help you. So I was lucky here to get off of Kirk Cousins, at least my allocation. I'm going from like 10 or 15% down to like 3 or 4% across my 150 lineups that I played this weekend in tournaments. Obviously, I was sticking with Jameis Winston as my cash game quarterback. But I guess that little nugget of news from Stephania in the morning really helped me get off of Kirk Cousins. Patrick Mahomes every week. And we're going to talk about this in the first look video, so make sure you look out for that one. Patrick Mahomes, once again, 33 fantasy points, 295 yards, didn't get the bonus. Man, he sucks. Only had 4 touchdowns, rushed for 52 yards. Kid's a machine every single week. Just play him. Lamar Jackson only ran for 1 touchdown, had 125 yards passing, 17 rushes again for 75 yards, 17.5 points. As his salary continues to climb up, we're going to need to see more touchdown upside out of Lamar Jackson. If he gets to 6K or above in week 14, 15, 16, 17, I'm probably not going to be as anxious to play him. He's going to be a GPP only play, as there's plenty of quarterbacks that have 3 or more touchdown upside with 30 plus rushing yard upside. That kind of negates Lamar Jackson's usability. Now, when he was 4,700, 5,700, even at 5,900 against Atlanta, as weak as Atlanta has been, I thought he was a fine play. He did not exceed 3x, but approached it. Didn't kill you if you played him. There were plenty of guys that did worse, but I need touchdown upside out of my quarterback, so probably going to be fading Lamar Jackson moving forward unless the price comes down a little bit from where it is. Christian McCaffrey was an absolute smash, as he has been basically every week. Rushed for 106 yards on only 10 carries, caught 9 balls on 10 targets, 19 touches out of the kid, half of them coming through the air. That's why we play him, because DraftKings being full PPR makes him an absolute machine. 161 total yards, got you the bonus on the ground, 1 touchdown, 34.1 DraftKings points. Saquon Barkley didn't get there in the way that we thought that he would get there. He did get you over 20 fantasy points, 20.6 I believe to be exact. He ran the ball 24 times, which I did not see coming. I thought he'd run it about 15 times and get a lot more usage in the passing game. He did not get as much usage in the passing game as I thought he would. I thought he'd get 6, 7, 8, 9 targets. He got 4, caught 3 of them, ran for 125 yards, 21 on through the air. Kind of capping his upside there. I thought he'd get more work in the air, as good as the Bears have been against the run, but he still was very efficient on the ground, averaging about 5 yards a carry. So 20.6 points, not terrible. Another week over 20 points for Saquon Barkley, basically every week except one. Carlos Hyde was a bust, but we were lucky in the sense that Ware became a value play at 4K and basically took us off of Hyde. As you guys knew from listening to the Anti-Tinkercast on Twitch, it's not a YouTube video, so if you're a YouTube watcher, I appreciate you being here. But every Sunday morning for the 45 minutes up until kickoff, I'm live on Twitch. I don't export that video to YouTube because it's useless once the games kick off. So if you want your questions answered live Sunday mornings on twitch.tv, the link is down below in the description. You can get there and hopefully join us. You got to sub to that channel in order to join the chat. Hopefully you guys do, and we can talk. But essentially, Carlos Hyde, we were lucky because we moved on to Ware, and you guys knew that I had about 95% Ware in my 150 lineups yesterday. Aaron Jones, for some reason, did not get very many touches in the second half this game, and subsequently their coach got fired, so now we have to hope that he's going to get 20 touches a game moving forward. He did get, 15 touches, 4 of them through the air for 15.2 DraftKings points. His first touch in the second half, I think, was that little touchdown run, so at least we got that, and he kind of almost got there. It would have been a ridiculously smashing day, like just soul-crushing day, if he ended on like 6 fantasy points like he was sitting on for most of that game. But at least he salvaged it at the end with that touchdown, getting us to 15 and not killing us. Phillip Lindsay was an absolute smash. 19 carries for 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them of the 65-yard variety, 1 catch on 1 target, 31.9 DraftKings points. He continues to impress, and we will continue to pick on the Cincinnati Bengals, Cincinnati, which has 2 N's and 1 T. Brandon Cooks did not get there this week, 10.1 DraftKings points. I'll take the L here. That's fine. I was chasing the targets. Obviously, he had a tough matchup. I thought that he could exploit it. Historically, he hasn't been able to. Against Slay, I was playing on the fact that he was going to run some routes from the slot. He had 4 catches, 6 targets, 62 yards. This was my mistake. That's fine. We'll move forward from there. Adam Humphrey, the Rams, when I say we'll move forward from there, I mean the Rams are going to pick on the 3-legged wildebeest. That's just kind of how that offense runs. They don't force things. They just go where this guy sucks, we're going to go there. So I have to pay more attention to the Rams' opponents and not just say, I think that Brandon Cooks is going to get a lot of targets, because Brandon Cooks is getting a lot of targets. And he got 6, but it wasn't 12 like he had the previous 2 weeks. I was expecting somewhere around 8 or 9. He didn't get that. And obviously the Rams, the way they run their offense, they pick on the 3-legged wildebeest. They're not looking for the big, strong one. They're looking to take out the sickly one in the back of the herd. Adam Humphries most certainly got there once again. 19.1 DraftKings points, 9 targets for 4.2K on DraftKings is always going to be solid gold. 7 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown, which came early in the game. Marcel Aitman, this is one we got lucky. Only had 4 targets, 2 catches, 16 yards, but one of them turned into a touchdown, giving him 9.6 points and kind of satisfying what you wanted out of him in terms of salary. Now, yeah, you wanted 15 or 20 points, obviously, but realistically speaking, if you were using him to open up to get you Gurley, McCaffrey, all the big dogs in your lineup, or Kelsey, it didn't matter what he had because he allowed you to get to these other guys who went nuts. Bruce Ellington, same sort of a situation as Marcel Aitman, but the process worked out. We didn't get lucky. He just kind of did what he did. 7 catches on 10 targets, 35 yards. We know he's got a really low ADOT, so therefore a really low ceiling, but he paid off the salary at 10.5. Gronkowski was a fail. 3 catches on 4 targets, 26 yards, no touchdown, 5.6 DraftKings points. Eric Ebron was the one that you were most certainly playing in cash. 16.2 DraftKings points, but only on 16 targets. I would expect more out of 16 targets. 10 catches, 81 yards, and no touchdown. As in true Eric Ebron fashion this year, he kind of gets there on the final drive or 2 of the game. Every time that he's been the chalk, he's just getting peppered with targets. Andrew Luck just looks for him constantly in the 2-minute drill, and he just catch for 5 yards, catch for 8 yards, catch for 5 yards, catch for 10 yards in those last couple of drives of the game. Travis Kelce was an absolute explosion. 12 catches on 13 targets, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 42.8 DraftKings points. He was a guy that I said if you wanted to change off of everybody having Ebron, you could go with the same price pivots. If you did, unlucky because Greg Olsen got hurt, and then Njoku didn't do very well. I said the other way to do it was if everybody's paying this for the thing, pay more and it'll differentiate your lineup somewhere else. And that was to pay up for Travis Kelce at 7K. 42.8 points is ridiculous from any position, let alone a tight end. Packers did not do well. They were the chalk defense, only 3 DraftKings points. Broncos did just fine, 14. Chiefs with 8 going up against the Raiders. Let's take a look at the 4-man game, which one of the listeners won, so congratulations to the Dirt with 141.84 points. Adam came in front of me, taking away my second place finish, so I'm not happy about that. I had 138. I didn't play cash games this week, guys. I focused on tournaments. I thought that there's going to be way too much overlap in cash. But obviously things, there was enough value that people differentiated. I probably should have played cash this week. I would have had a different approach towards this lineup. I took a little bit more of a GPP approach to this lineup than a cash game approach to this lineup. I still had Spencer Ware and I had Eric Ebron. I had Christian McCaffrey. I went with Humphreys because I knew that there was going to be a lot of Godwin. There was, 50% Chris Godwin. Emmanuel Sanders was probably somewhere that I should not have gone, considering the wind. If I was playing cash, I would have paid more attention to this, but this was a GPP lineup, so I was okay with that. And went with Brandon Cooks going for the upside there. If it was a cash game lineup, I probably would have had stuffed in a higher priced running back here. Probably not Gurley. Probably would have been Saquon Barkley at 7,900, which I think was what? Yeah, 1,200 more here, so I would have had to come down off of either Manny Sanders or Brandon Cooks. But essentially, right from Best Buys, as every week, I don't have a win-loss record for you in head-to-heads because I didn't play them on DK this week. But I do want to go and just look forward. I want to look backward and also use that to look forward throughout the rest of the year. Hindsight being 2020, if you just played Kelsey, Mahomes, and Gurley every single week in 2018, you probably would be something, aside from week 12 when all of them were on a bye week, you probably would have won 95% of the weeks. You would have been profitable pretty much every week if you started your lineup with those guys and didn't try and say, well, this guy's a better value this week or this guy's a slightly better matchup this week. If we just said, you know what? They're going to score 30, and if they score 30, these guys are going to score the majority of the touchdowns. You're going to win the majority of the weeks that you played on DraftKings this year because they're so heavily involved in their offense, right? Gurley getting 25 to 30 points. Patrick Mahomes averaging 31 fantasy points. Kelsey being an absolute smash, and just figure out what you have to fit in around them. Retrospectively, since this is a recap video, I would have loved to go back and see what I could have fit every single week from week 1 through week 11, and then obviously week 13. Probably would have had a smash fest every single week of the season. So retrospectively, yeah, McCaffrey and Flex are not where I screwed that up because I don't know why. I just screwed it up in the 4-man. I should have had the later playing player in the flex spot is essentially what they're looking for. And if I had, I could have switched off Ware to anybody else in that game that was playing late, or anybody else that was playing late, to give me an opportunity to try and charge past the people that had clearly had me blocked with Ware in front of me. So that was a mistake on my side. I could have played a tight end. I could have played a wide receiver or a running back in that spot to pivot off of Ware so that I could chase and not get blocked. But I didn't, so I kind of screwed myself there. Thank you guys for being here. Lineup construction is key. Owning your mistakes is key, and learning from them. So please tune into the first look so we can see what we're going to do for week 14 as we zoom through the rest of this football season. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. There's the button. There's going to be the first look video, and I'll catch up to you guys later. Bye.